The stone comes fast, spinning, roaring, unstoppable. For a split second, fear flashes across the mushroom hero's face, but fear doesn't stop him. He drops low, tucks in tight, and strikes back. Mushroom bash! The ground explodes beneath him. Dust, wind, and power burst outward in a single heartbeat. The impact sends shockwaves through the field. Even the towering enemy staggers. Leaves tear loose, branches whip wildly. In the center of the chaos, a small figure spins through the sky. Not defeated, not broken, but stronger. Because the mushroom hero doesn't fight with size, he fights with courage. And this battle is far from over. The impact echoes through the field. The mushroom hero crashes down, barely catching himself among the leaves. His heart pounds. That was dangerous. Before he can recover, the ground begins to roar. Roots tighten, stones lift. The plant beast spreads wide, 4 massive arms spinning like a living storm. Rocks whirl faster and faster until the air itself screams. The mushroom hero looks up, small but unshaken. This isn't just a wild attack, it's a trap. One wrong move and he'll be torn apart. But retreat isn't an option. He steadies his breath, tightens his cap. Because when the storm comes, a true hero doesn't run. He prepares to strike back. The vines snap tight. Then suddenly, they unwind. Roots loosen. The twisted stem releases its grip. And in the next heartbeat, the stones are free. They whip outward, swinging in wild, crushing arcs. The air splits. The ground shudders. Each strike is heavy enough to shatter bone. The merry-go-vine is awakened its true defense, a spinning cage of rock and fury. The mushroom hero darts back, eyes sharp, mind racing. One mistake, and there will be no second chance. But as the stones circle faster, he notices it, a rhythm, a pattern. And with that realization, the battle has only just begun. The ripple spread faster than expected. What started as a single merry-go-vine had now awakened every vine in the field. One by one they began to spin, stones whipping through the air, roots grinding against the earth, the wind screaming as the battlefield transformed into chaos. Mushroom Hero stood frozen for a heartbeat. Sweat rolled down his face as he realized the truth. This wasn't just an attack, it was a chain reaction. The vines responded to movement, to sound, each rotation triggering the next, until the entire area became a deadly storm. Behind him, his companion lay dizzy and helpless, caught in the aftermath. Mushroom Hero clenched his fists. Running wasn't an option. Stopping one wouldn't be enough. If he wanted to survive, he had to break the ripple itself. The air trembled. As the merry-go-vine spun wildly, 2 figures finally stepped forward. With a single flick of their staffs, magic shields erupted into existence, transparent barriers cutting through the chaos like blades. Stones slammed into the shields and shattered mid-air. The spinning slowed. For the first time, the ripple was interrupted. Mushroom Hero watched in awe as the shields held firm, absorbing the vine's violent rotations without faltering. These weren't ordinary cultivators. Their movements were calm. Their timing was precise. They weren't reacting to the storm. They were controlling it. The battlefield fell into a fragile balance, and in that moment, Mushroom Hero understood this fight had just entered a completely different level. Before anyone could react, a shadow spun through the air, laughing, spinning, gee. The creature was hurled like a living projectile, wrapped tightly in rock and roots. Then, Bam! The impact shattered the shield of calm. Blood sprayed across the sky as the body slammed into the stone with brutal force. No warning, no mercy. Mushroom Hero froze. That wasn't magic control. That was absolute dominance. The laughter faded, replaced by silence heavy enough to crush the battlefield. Whoever had made that move wasn't here to negotiate, and Mushroom Hero realized this battle was no longer about survival. It was about power. The air twisted violently. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. Roots tightened. Stones spun faster. The plant creature screamed silently as the force dragged it inward, crushing its body layer by layer. The ground trembled. Then, clamp! The rocks slammed together with terrifying precision. Bones snapped. Energy collapsed. The swirling wind vanished in an instant. What remained was silence. Mushroom Hero stared at the crushed remains, his breath caught in his throat. That attack wasn't reckless. It was controlled, calculated. Whoever was pulling the strings had absolute mastery over the battlefield. And for the first time, Mushroom Hero understood the truth. This enemy wasn't testing them anymore. The real fight had begun. Cracks spread across the stone. Grows. The roots pulsed thicker and darker, wrapping tighter around the trapped creature. Grows. It struggled. Its eyes widened in terror as the roots sank deeper into its body. Suck. Energy was drained. Strength was stolen. Suck. The creature's scream faded into silence as its power was completely absorbed. Slowly, the violent aura disappeared. The leaves loosened. Returns to normal. What once raged with destruction now stood calm and motionless. Mushroom Hero watched in disbelief. That wasn't just an attack, it was devouring magic itself. His fists clenched. If this power could absorb enemies so easily, then the battlefield had changed forever, and the next target might be him. Wind fades in. Calm after chaos. Silence. Mushroom Hero stood frozen, his mouth slightly open. He wanted to speak, but no words came out. His eyes slowly shifted downward. The little pig companion spun in place, eyes swirling, completely dizzy. Still alive, still breathing. Relief washed over him. Thud. A heavy staff struck the ground. Mushroom Hero looked up. The stone root monsters stood motionless now, leaves swaying gently in the wind, as if nothing had happened. The battlefield had gone quiet. Too quiet. Mushroom Hero tightened his grip. This wasn't victory. It was a warning. A power that absorbs life. Cannot be ignored. And somewhere ahead, stronger enemies were already watching. Mushroom Hero felt it. A sudden chill brushed past his cheek. His eyes widened slightly. Someone was here. High above the battlefield, a shadow descended. Cloaked in dark robes, floating effortlessly, magic gathered like stars in the night sky. The hooded figure raised a hand. Orbs of light crackled, whispering with dangerous intent. Below, the old monk slammed his staff into the ground. Step, step, step. Each step carried weight. He stood between Mushroom Hero and the threat, gripping the mushroom tightly in his arm. The air grew heavy. This wasn't a random encounter. This was a test. Mushroom Hero swallowed hard. His heart pounded. The real battle was only just beginning. Low thunder rolls. Magic crackles violently. Rage exploded in the air. The old monk's eye burned crimson as he roared, "Impudent!" His fury shook the ground beneath him. Beside him, the hooded mage trembled with barely contained hatred. Teeth clenched. One glowing red eye pierced the darkness. "You bastards." Their voices weren't just anger. They were fear. Fear of losing control. Fear of what they had awakened. Mushroom Hero froze. His small body stiffened as killing intent crashed down like a storm. His cap trembled. His breath caught in his throat. For the first time, he understood. These weren't enemies fighting monsters. They were monsters fighting each other. And he was standing right in the middle.
Sound explodes. Magic howls like a beast unleashed. Kill, kill, kill! The word echoed again and again, not from one mouth, but from pure, unrestrained madness. The monk and the hooded mage struck at the same time. Crimson light and blue lightning collided, tearing the air apart. The ground vanished beneath their feet. The sky split open. A shockwave roared upward, hurling a shadow straight into the heavens. Mushroom Hero could only watch. His world shrank to light, sound, and terror. In the blazing sky, something was flung away like a broken star. Too fast to see, too powerful to stop. The battlefield fell silent, and in that silence, Mushroom Hero realized this fight had crossed a line. Whatever came down next would decide everything.
The wind still screamed where the explosion had torn the sky. The monk steadied himself, red magic burning at the tip of his staff. His eyes followed the distant shape disappearing into the clouds. Damn it. 1,000 gold. That's what it costs to hire those mercenaries. And they couldn't even slow it down, not even for a moment. The hooded mage lowered his glowing hand, silent, watching the sky with narrowed eyes. Whatever had been launched away was still alive. The battlefield felt wrong now, too quiet, too empty. Leaves trembled, mana twisted in the air. Mushroom Hero stood frozen, heart pounding beneath his cap. That thing wasn't defeated, it was only thrown aside. And when it came back down, this fight would begin for real. Something tore through the sky, a streak of fire, faster than sound. The clouds split open as the burning shape plunged downward like a falling star. The next moment, boom! The ground exploded, earth shattered, rocks and roots were hurled into the air as a pillar of destruction erupted from the field. The shock wave ripped through the forest, flattening leaves, snapping branches, forcing everyone to brace themselves. Mushroom Hero felt the blast hit his body, his tiny frame nearly thrown off the ground. His heart sank. It came back, not weakened, not afraid, but angrier than before. As the dust rose and the flames faded, one truth echoed in his mind. This was no victory. It was a warning. The dust hadn't even settled. The battlefield vanished behind rolling clouds of smoke. Every breath burned. Every step felt uncertain. Then, Frost Wall. Two voices rang out together. Ice surged forward, climbing the air itself, shaping into towering frozen barriers. The heat smashed into them, fire against frost, and for a heartbeat, the world held its breath. Cracks spread, steam hissed, and from the blinding light, it emerged. Wings of flame, eyes burning like molten gold. The creature hovered above the shattered ground, not defeated, reborn. Mushroom Hero felt the pressure crush his chest. This wasn't just a monster, this was a calamity given form. And as its cry tore through the sky, one truth became clear. The real battle had only just begun. Mushroom Hero's eyes widened. His small body stiffened as the figure in the sky burned brighter. That guy is... The system responded instantly. Firestorm Hawk, level 47. Appraisal, failed. Appraisal, failed. Appraisal, failed. Again and again, the same message echoed in his mind. Level too low. His heart sank. This wasn't just stronger than him, it was on a completely different tier. The Firestorm Hawk spread its blazing wings, fire rolling off its feathers like living storms. Mushroom Hero clenched his fists behind the leaves. For the first time in a long while, the system couldn't give him answers. Only one thing was certain. If this creature descended, everything here would be reduced to ash. And whether he was ready or not, Mushroom Hero would have to face it. The hooded mage gasped, arms trembling as the frozen barrier held. "I've already used too much mana," he shouted. "Those merry-go-vines drained me dry earlier." His voice wavered, but he didn't stop casting. "Uncle, cover me! I need a mana potion." The bald man snarled back, veins bulging in his neck. "You think I'm any better? My mana's running dry too. I won't be able to block the next attack." Above them, fire hissed against ice, steam exploding into the sky. Then the mage clenched his fists. "Then use it!" He pointed sharply forward. "The high-grade potion we bought from the Mage Alliance. Use it to attack." The words hung heavy in the air. One chance, one reckless gamble. As the Firestorm Hawk screeched overhead, Mushroom Hero felt it clearly. This battle was about to reach its breaking point. A golden blur tore through the battlefield, faster than thought, hotter than flame. The bald mage's eyes widened. Too fast. He threw his staff up on instinct, sparks exploding as the Udar tore past him. The ground shattered. Heat carved a burning line across the earth, sending dust and fire spiraling into the sky. The mage skidded backward, cloak torn, boots scraping stone. His teeth clenched. So this is the power. In his arms, the mushroom shook, its small body pressed tight against his chest. Not fear, not panic, resolve. Above them, the Firestorm Hawk circled again, flames coiling around its wings. One strike nearly ended it. The next one wouldn't miss. And Mushroom Hero knew. This fight was no longer about survival. It was about who would fall first. The body hit the ground hard, dirt and stone exploding outward. Silence followed. Heavy, crushing silence. The bald mage stood on the slope, staff still raised, chest heaving as dust rolled past his feet. His eyes burned, not with victory, but with pressure. Sweat slid down his face as he stared ahead, jaw clenched, teeth grinding. Not yet! He could feel it, that presence above. The Firestorm Hawk hadn't retreated. It was waiting, measuring him, calculating the next strike. In his arms, the mushroom held still, sensing the shift, sensing that the battle had crossed a line. This wasn't a clash of spells anymore. It was endurance, will against annihilation. The mage tightened his grip on the staff. If the next attack came, he wasn't sure he could stop it. Swallow, swallow, swallow. Blood dripped from the torn sleeve, staining the ground as the pain was forced down, literally swallowed. High above, the Firestorm Hawk twisted its neck, flames coiling tighter around its body. Gulp. The last trace of hesitation vanished. Its wings ignited completely, fire pouring from its feathers like molten wind. The air screamed. The pressure crushed the hillside, bending trees, flattening brass. Then, Two burning eyes snapped open, glowing red with killing intent. This was no longer a test, no warning, no restraint. The firestorm hawk leaned forward, flames spiraling into its core as power surged past its limit. And in that instant, the battlefield understood the truth. The monster had decided. It was the mage's turn to die.